Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that billions of dollars have vanished into thin air. No bank records, no paper trail, just a series of encrypted transactions on a blockchain. No one knows where the money went. No one knows who took it. And yet, it's happening every single day. Welcome to the hidden world of money laundering through cryptocurrency, where technology isn't just a tool for innovation, it's a weapon for the world's most elusive criminals. How do they do it? And more importantly, can they ever be stopped? In November 2019, the FBI received a report from a major European bank. A transaction worth over $100 million had just been executed without passing through any traditional banking system. There were no suspicious accounts, no traceable records, only a long string of characters, an incomprehensible encrypted sequence on the blockchain. A week later, the money vanished. No sign indicated it had ever existed. How could such a massive sum of money disappear with just a few clicks? The answer lies in cryptocurrency. It is not an unfamiliar concept. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and hundreds of other digital currencies are reshaping the way people transact, invest, and store assets. But while investors praise crypto as the future of the global economy, somewhere in the shadows, it is being used as the perfect tool for crime. To understand this, we need to ask one question. Why is cryptocurrency so attractive to money launderers? Before the advent of cryptocurrency, criminal organizations, money laundering syndicates, and even corrupt governments had to resort to complex methods to legitimize their illicit funds. They had to create dozens of shell companies, open multiple bank accounts under fake names, or use underground banking systems. Everything carried risks. Banks could detect anomalies, authorities could track transactions, and a single mistake could bring down an entire network. But then, cryptocurrency emerged, and suddenly, everything became easier than ever. First, it is fast and borderless. Previously, transferring large sums of money from Europe to Asia without attracting attention required breaking the sum into smaller amounts, laundering it through multiple intermediaries, or using cash. But now, with just one click, millions of dollars can be transferred from one crypto wallet to another without requiring approval from anyone. Second, it is nearly impossible to control. While many believe that blockchain allows transactions to be tracked, in reality, there are countless ways to obscure the trail. Coin mixing services, high anonymity cryptocurrencies, and peer-to-peer transactions have made tracing nearly impossible. Third, legal frameworks have yet to catch up. Governments are still struggling to regulate crypto. But while authorities debate, money launderers have already moved ahead. They continuously develop new tactics to bypass regulations, exploiting the delays in legal enforcement to continue operating undetected. But all of this is still not the scariest part. Let's talk about numbers. In 2013, Silk Road, one of the largest black markets on the dark web, was dismantled by the FBI. This was no ordinary trading platform. Millions of dollars in Bitcoin were used to buy and sell drugs, weapons, and even contract killings. When the US government seized the system, they found over 144.000 Bitcoin, equivalent to $1.2 billion at today's value. But what was more important was how these transactions were conducted. No traces, no intermediaries, no one knowing who sent money to whom. Another case was the BTC exchange. This was not just a regular cryptocurrency exchange. It was one of the world's largest money laundering hubs. BTC helped process over $4 billion in illicit transactions before being shut down by the FBI in 2017. But what is frightening? The owner of BTC received only a minimal sentence, and the enormous sums of money remain untraceable. Then came the 2019 Plus token case, the largest cryptocurrency scam in history. Over $2 billion was stolen from hundreds of thousands of investors. But when Chinese authorities investigated, they discovered that the funds had already been laundered through hundreds of complex crypto transactions. The money moved through multiple wallets, into coin mixing services, across decentralized exchanges, and finally reappeared as clean funds. This is just a small glimpse of what is happening. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario. If a criminal syndicate wanted to launder $10 million from illegal activities, how would they do it? The first step is to break down the sum and deposit it into a mixing service. These platforms mix cryptocurrency from various sources, making transactions chaotic and untraceable. The next step is to convert the funds into high-anonymity coins like Monero or Zcash, cryptocurrencies that obscure the identities of senders and receivers. Then, they could use decentralized exchanges to move the money further without undergoing any identity verification. To legitimize the funds, they could use crypto casinos or invest in NFTs, creating seemingly legal transactions. Finally, they sell the cryptocurrency through peer-to-peer transactions, receiving cash or bank transfers via unregulated accounts. What is the critical point here? No authority can intervene in these transactions. Once money has passed through the blockchain, it is nearly impossible to recover. Governments may track transactions, but that does not mean they can identify the people behind them. Traditional financial systems have control mechanisms such as freezing accounts, requiring reports on suspicious transactions, or cooperating with international financial institutions. But with crypto, there is no intermediary bank, no one can block transactions, and no regulatory body is responsible. The question remains, can we regulate crypto without destroying its core value? If cryptocurrency truly offers legitimate benefits, should we accept the risk of criminals exploiting it? And are governments trying to regulate crypto not because of crime, but to maintain their financial control? These are questions without clear answers, but they are challenges the world is facing. The money is now clean, or at least it appears to be. A dirty sum has now been refreshed through a series of complex transactions, transformed into legitimate assets that no one can trace. But the question remains, why can't authorities control this? Why do the world's top investigative agencies, organizations like the FBI, Interpol, or Europol, seem powerless against cryptocurrency-based money laundering schemes? If every transaction is recorded on the blockchain, why can't the culprits be tracked down? The answer lies in the very nature of cryptocurrency. Imagine blockchain as a ledger that anyone can view, but no one can alter or delete. Every transaction is recorded permanently and cannot be changed. This might sound like a perfect tool for combating money laundering, because if everything is transparent, criminals would have nowhere to hide, right? But in reality, things are far more complicated. Because in the world of cryptocurrency, one thing is more important than the transaction itself: the identity of the person conducting it. And this is the biggest weakness of the global financial monitoring system when it comes to crypto. In traditional banking, if you want to transfer a large sum of money, you have to disclose your identity, provide a bank account, and if there are any suspicious signs, the bank has the right to block the transaction and report it to authorities. But with cryptocurrency, this does not exist. Anyone can create a crypto wallet without providing any personal information. No name, no address, no phone number. You only have a long string of characters as your wallet address. And as long as you have the private key, you can make transactions without anyone knowing who you are. This is why, even when authorities can track the flow of money, they still cannot determine who actually owns it. A single crypto wallet can receive millions of dollars from hundreds of different addresses, and its owner could be anywhere in the world. But that's not all. If someone truly wants to launder money perfectly, they won't stop at using anonymous wallets. They will leverage other tools that make tracking nearly impossible. One of these is decentralized exchanges, DEXs. These are platforms that allow users to exchange cryptocurrency directly with each other without intermediaries, without identity verification, and most importantly, without anyone being able to control them. In the traditional financial system, banks and exchanges must comply with anti-money laundering, AML, regulations and know your customer, KYC, requirements. But with DEXs, no one asks you for information. No accounts are frozen. No transactions are blocked. Criminals can easily swap dirty money for clean money without worrying about any oversight. A Bitcoin with a suspicious origin can be exchanged for Ethereum, then further converted into Monero, a cryptocurrency with absolute anonymity. Once the money reaches this stage, it has essentially disappeared from the government's tracking system. But even this is not the most sophisticated trick. If decentralized exchanges make money laundering easier, then DeFi, decentralized finance, takes it to an entirely new level. These are platforms for lending, investing, and trading, all automated without banks or any financial intermediaries. Smart contracts on the blockchain can execute transactions automatically without human intervention. This means that even if illicit funds enter the system, they can be recycled into legitimate profits without anyone being able to stop them. For example, a criminal organization could deposit cryptocurrency into a DeFi platform, earn interest, or take out a loan against it. After some time, they withdraw the funds, and now that money no longer carries any trace of its original transaction. It has been recycled through the system, turning into legitimate assets without raising any suspicion. The question is, what can governments do to counter this? In reality, they have tried several approaches. Some countries have enacted laws requiring centralized exchanges to report large transactions. The US has introduced measures to regulate stablecoins, cryptocurrencies tied to the value of the US dollar. Europe has tightened blockchain surveillance regulations. But all of these only affect structured platforms. When it comes to decentralized exchanges, anonymous cryptocurrencies, and decentralized finance systems, governments have virtually no control. This is why a battle is unfolding between those who believe in crypto's financial freedom and governments that seek to regulate it. One side argues that cryptocurrency allows people to transact without relying on banks or governments, preserving personal privacy. The other warns that without strict regulations, crypto will become a haven for criminals, allowing syndicates to launder billions of dollars without any way to stop them. But here's the real question worth debating. Can crypto be regulated without destroying its decentralized nature? If cryptocurrency is regulated too tightly, will it still retain its core value? And more importantly, do governments truly want to control crypto because of crime, or because they fear losing their financial power? These questions have no easy answers, but they will determine the future of cryptocurrency, whether it will become a tool for financial freedom or be turned into a part of a government-controlled financial system. And regardless of the answer, one thing is certain: this game is far from over. Cryptocurrency is at a crossroads. On one hand, it is a revolutionary technology that allows millions of people to have control over their assets without relying on the traditional financial system. But on the other hand, it is also becoming the perfect tool for money laundering, asset concealment, and evasion from law enforcement agencies. What can governments do in this situation? To understand the ongoing battle between authorities and crypto money launderers, we first need to look at what governments have tried. One of the first measures that nations implemented was requiring cryptocurrency exchanges to comply with KYC, Know Your Customer, procedures, meaning that if you want to trade on a platform like Binance or Coinbase, you must provide identification documents, prove the source of your funds, and accept the monitoring of suspicious transactions. At first glance, this seems like a crucial step in combating money laundering. But in reality, things are much more complicated. While major exchanges can monitor the flow of money, don't forget that this is not the only way to trade cryptocurrency. Thousands of decentralized exchange, DEX, platforms are emerging every day, where no one is required to verify their identity, no one has to provide personal information, and no one is held accountable. Money launderers can simply transfer assets through these decentralized exchanges, perform a few cross trades between highly anonymous coins like Monero, and then withdraw the funds as stablecoins or even cash. Some countries have attempted even stricter measures by completely banning cryptocurrency transactions. China is a prime example. They issued a ban on all crypto exchanges, prohibited financial institutions from dealing with crypto, and even shut down Bitcoin mining operations within their territory. But there is a problem. The ban was not truly effective. Just months later, Chinese traders continued buying and selling crypto through overseas exchanges, using VPNs to hide their identities, or simply switching to peer-to-peer, P2P, transactions. The ban seemed strict, but in reality, it only pushed crypto activities deeper into the shadows, making them harder to control than ever before. What frustrates governments even more is that blockchain technology is becoming increasingly sophisticated. It's not just about traditional cryptocurrencies anymore. Decentralized finance, DeFi, tools are opening up countless ways to launder money that governments have yet to respond to. Imagine someone holding millions of dirty dollars. Instead of transferring money directly through an exchange, something that can be tracked, they could deposit it into a DeFi platform as collateral. Take out a loan in stablecoins, and then move that loan into a new wallet. They could then use the newly acquired funds to invest in NFTs or buy virtual land in the metaverse, turning dirty money into digital assets without raising any suspicion. One of the biggest NFT-related fraud cases occurred in 2022 when investigators discovered a series of unusual transactions between anonymous accounts. Someone sold an NFT for hundreds of thousands of dollars. But the buyer was not a regular collector, it was another account controlled by the same organization. The money kept circulating between crypto wallets, eventually being withdrawn as what appeared to be legitimate profits from digital art investments. There was no way to prove that this was money laundering because, technically, it was just a valid commercial transaction. So, with all these sophisticated tactics, are governments truly powerless? The answer is, they're trying to catch up. But this battle is far from easy. One of the strongest tools law enforcement agencies are using is blockchain analytics. Companies like Chainalysis, Elliptic, and CipherTrace are developing AI-powered systems capable of tracking money flows on the blockchain, identifying suspicious transaction patterns, and alerting authorities. Thanks to these tools, governments have successfully cracked several crypto money laundering cases. One example was the 2021 takedown of a cybercrime syndicate, where over $3.6 billion in Bitcoin was seized from a couple living in New York. But there is a problem. This technology is not foolproof. It can track transactions, but it cannot determine with certainty who is behind those wallet addresses. Criminal organizations understand this and continuously change their tactics. One of the newest methods they use is flash loans, instant loans on DeFi platforms, where large sums of money can be borrowed and repaid within seconds, making transactions extremely difficult to trace. Governments are also attempting to impose stricter regulations on entities involved in cryptocurrency. Major exchanges are under pressure to cooperate with law enforcement, reporting accounts with suspicious transactions. Some countries are considering heavy taxation on crypto transactions or requiring all crypto wallets to be registered with the government. But even if these measures take effect, they still cannot control the entire cryptocurrency ecosystem. Because in the end, crypto is not like a bank that can be shut down. It is not like a company that can be fined. It is a decentralized network running on millions of computers worldwide. There is no central authority, no single entity in control. If one country bans crypto, transactions will simply move elsewhere, using a different platform, continuing without anyone being able to stop them. So the ultimate question is there an effective way to control crypto money laundering? If crypto is the future of finance, should governments learn to adapt instead of trying to ban it? And if regulations become too strict, would that destroy the very essence of cryptocurrency? We are witnessing a battle between technology and law, between financial freedom and government control. One side believes that crypto is an opportunity for people to escape the control of traditional financial systems, while the other warns that without strict regulation, crypto will become a haven for criminals laundering billions of dollars unchecked. But where does the truth lie? Every government effort to control cryptocurrency seems to encounter the same problem. The more they try to impose regulations, the more this system evolves in unpredictable ways. They shut down one exchange? A decentralized exchange appears. They require major platforms to verify user identities? Black markets and peer-to-peer transactions open new pathways for those who want to remain anonymous. History has proven that whenever a government tries to regulate a new financial technology, the market finds a way to adapt. In the past, when traditional banks tightened control over international money transfers, systems like Hawala, a centuries-old informal money transfer network, emerged and operated without the need for a banking system. Now, crypto is becoming the modern version of this model. But there is one thing many people fail to realize. Crypto is not just a tool for criminals. It is also a space where even legitimate institutions must join the game. It's not just gangs or hacker groups using cryptocurrency to conceal transactions. In recent years, even governments have begun leveraging this technology for purposes that are no less questionable. A prime example is North Korea, a country that has repeatedly been accused of hacking cryptocurrency exchanges to launder billions of dollars to fund its nuclear weapons program. State-backed hacker groups like Lazarus Group have stolen hundreds of millions of dollars, then used coin-mixing services to erase traces before converting it into cash. But it's not just North Korea. Underground financial networks worldwide are also utilizing crypto as a way to bypass sanctions. Iran has been banned from transacting with many international banks, but cryptocurrency has provided the country with a new avenue to continue trade. Russia, after facing a wave of economic sanctions from the West, is also believed to be using crypto to keep its economy from being completely strangled. And here lies the key question. If even governments are using cryptocurrency in ways they once condemned, do they truly want to control it? Or do they simply want to ensure that they are the only ones with control? This is the biggest debate surrounding crypto. Proponents argue that governments don't actually care about preventing money laundering or protecting users. They are simply afraid of losing control over the financial system. If cryptocurrency becomes the new standard, central banks will lose their absolute power. Governments will no longer have the ability to print money at will, to freeze someone's assets for political reasons, and most importantly, they will no longer be able to track every transaction like before. But there is also an undeniable reality. Crypto has created a paradise for criminals unlike anything the financial world has seen before. Even if we set aside organized crime, the sheer number of scams related to crypto in recent years is enough to make anyone question the security of this system. Ponzi schemes disguised as investment projects. Rug pulls, where project founders suddenly disappear with investors' money, and worthless tokens that are artificially inflated before crashing overnight. All of these have led many people to lose their entire fortunes. Governments have legitimate concerns, but if they truly want to control crypto, can they actually do it? The answer: not easily. Imagine a world where every crypto transaction must be monitored by the government. Every wallet must be registered, and every fund transfer must be reported. This might sound reasonable in theory, but in practice, it goes against the entire idea of decentralized blockchain. If a government can control crypto, it can also control who can transact and who cannot. And this means they could also ban or freeze anyone's assets, just like traditional banks have done for centuries. Crypto advocates see this as a terrifying scenario. They believe that if crypto becomes fully regulated, it will no longer be crypto. It will simply become another version of the old financial system, wrapped in new technology. But on the other hand, if there are no controls at all, do we really want to live in a world where criminal organizations can move billions of dollars without anyone being able to stop them? This question has no easy answer. Just like the internet when it first emerged, crypto is a technology full of potential but also accompanied by massive risks. In the 1990s, when the internet became widespread, many feared it would be overrun with crime, scams, and illegal content. They weren't entirely wrong, but in the end, the internet persisted, evolved, and changed how we live and work. Perhaps crypto will follow a similar path. It cannot be completely eliminated, but it will be regulated and integrated into the financial system in some way. What does this mean? It means that the battle between those who want crypto to remain completely free and those who want to regulate it will not end anytime soon. Both sides have valid arguments, and both sides have weaknesses. But one thing is certain: crypto has changed the game. And whether we like it or not, the financial world will never go back to the way it was. The question is, which side are you on? Do you believe crypto is a tool for financial freedom? Or do you think that without control, it will become a nightmare? And more importantly, if you had the power to regulate this system, what would you do? The battle between financial freedom and regulatory control is only just beginning. Governments scramble to impose laws, while criminals find new ways to outsmart the system. The question is, where do we draw the line? Should governments regulate crypto more aggressively to prevent crime, even if it means sacrificing financial privacy? Or should we accept that decentralization comes with risks, and let the system police itself? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video eye-opening, don't forget to hit the like button. Subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden forces shaping our world. And turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And remember, in the world of crypto, nothing is ever truly anonymous, except the truth behind the transactions.